Hi, I'm Melanie from France. My mom died giving birth to me, and Dad raised me by himself. We had a gorgeous house in one of the best neighborhoods in Paris. Here, princess, this is for you. Wow! Dad always spoiled me and bought me expensive things. We were inseparable. He even let me hang out with him and his friends. Yay, I win! One day, Dad even bought me a bike. It's amazing! Dad taught me how to ride it, and we often raced each other. Everything changed when I turned 16. Dad and I spent the day with each other. But when we got home, there were cops waiting for us there. You're under arrest. No, Dad! Dad was accused of robbery. That's how he supposedly got the money for our huge house and all my expensive gifts. Despite all the evidence, I didn't believe Dad was a criminal. When he was arrested, I was sent away to an orphanage. Her dad is a robber. If I were her, I would change my last name and move the country. Shut up! Dad's trial was very public, and soon, the whole of Paris was talking about it. The kids at the orphanage constantly made fun of me. One day, I couldn't stand it any longer and ran off into the woods. I wanted to be alone and got lost. It's so cold. I spent the whole night in the forest and only managed to find my way back in the morning. Why would you run away? We've been looking for you all night. I don't feel so good. After being on edge and freezing the entire night, I caught a cold and spent a whole month in bed. It's a shame. She has beautiful hair. It needs to be cut. After recovering, I decided it was time for a change. I sneaked away from the orphanage again, but this time I came to a cheap beauty salon. I dyed my hair and got a tattoo. Dad and I wanted to get matching tattoos, but he was arrested before we got around to it. On my way to the orphanage, I saw a familiar bike. That's mine! Dad taught me how to start a bike without a key, so I didn't have to walk to the orphanage. That evening, I was called to the director's office. This girl stole a bike. She must take after her father. Don't you dare talk about Dad. And that bike is mine. All your property has been confiscated. Your bike was sold and now has a new owner. This will be the first and last time you're getting off with a warning. If you get caught again, you'll be in a world of trouble. My bike was taken away again. Before I could go back to my room, an old woman walked into the office. Who are you and what are you doing here? I'm Mrs. Peters. Mrs. Peters? Grandma? I remembered seeing her photo in our family photo album, but Grandma didn't like Dad, and I'd never even met her. I want to take Melanie home with me, to the USA. Why did you only come for me now? It doesn't matter. Go pack your things. I want to see Dad first. Grandma was not thrilled, but she let me meet him. I'm sorry, Princess. I was a bad father to you. You were not. Please tell me you were framed and it wasn't your fault. I'm sorry, but I am guilty, and I should be punished. I want you to start a new life and forget about me. Go away with Grandma. It's better that way. I love you anyway, Daddy. Grandma lived in a small town. She used to be a famous pianist. I hope you have good taste in music. There will be no mediocre music in my house. Grandma was pretty insufferable, to be honest. A couple of years ago, your father sent me a photo of you. You had such beautiful hair in it. Of course, you'll have to grow it back. I've already booked an appointment with a good stylist so you could dye it back. I like my hair color and I'm not going to change it. Soon I went to a new school. I know some cool tricks. Watch and learn. Watch it! You almost hit me! You call that a cool trick? You think you can do better? Give me your bike and I'll show you how it's done. Sure, surprise me. You're really good. I'm Damon, by the way. Melanie, you want to go for a ride tonight? I'll think about it. Wait, that was really freaking cool. But you should stay away from Damon. He's dangerous. What's your name again? Kyle. Let's make one thing clear, Kyle. It's me who's dangerous. I was in for another surprise when I got home. I've bought new clothes for you. Did you rob a history museum? I'm not wearing this. I signed you up for a music class. You can't go there wearing this. I don't want to go there anyway. I'll buy you a magnificent musical instrument. If you want to buy me something, I prefer a bike. It was like Grandma and I were speaking different languages. She was pissing me off. You still haven't gone for a ride with me. My offer still stands. Damon brought me to an abandoned building. His friends were waiting for us there. Welcome to our biker club. I rented this bike for you. What, are you rich? My parents are. The next day, I found a plush rabbit in my locker. Is this from Damon? No, it can't be. I should have guessed. Kyle followed me around at school. He opened the classroom doors for me, handed me textbooks, and gave me cute stuff. Why don't I use his crush? I was constantly hanging out with Damon and his friends and started falling behind at school. I forgot to write my biology essay. Could you help me? Of course. You can count on me. I thought Kyle was a total loser. I'm not a bad person, honest. Kyle was just trying too hard to please me. Melanie, let's go to a charity concert tonight. I'll be performing there. Okay. You can't go dressed like this. Put on the clothes I bought for you. No way! Grandma and I had a fight again, and instead of the charity concert, I went to Damon. This is my favorite club. Let's party! At some point, we ended up close to each other. Damon leaned in and kissed me on the cheek. My heart started pounding like I was on a racing track. Where have you been? Do you know what time it is? I was with friends. I received an invitation to a music camp tonight. Talented young people have fun and learn to make music there. It will do you good. But my friends teach at the camp. If you don't want to change your clothes, at least dye your hair. Don't embarrass me. I showed everyone a photo of you with your long curls, so wear this. That was the last straw. I snapped. I'm not going to change for anyone. I don't even want to go to that camp. Classical music is not my thing. One night, Damon asked me if I wanted to go for a ride again. A hardware store? It's already closed. Wait for us here. Damon and his friends got into the store. I found it weird how easily they pulled that off. What's going on? Let's go! Did you rob the store? What the heck, Damon? Your parents are loaded. It's for adrenaline, baby. I'm not getting involved in this. You were on the lookout, so you're our accomplice. Don't move!
Huh?
We ran to our bikes, but then Damon tripped and fell. I wanted to run, but couldn't leave him. Gotcha. Melanie Cooper? Are you by any chance the daughter of Richard Cooper, the famous robber from Paris? I have no idea what you're talking about. Damon's father arrived soon after. Is this enough for you to let my son go? Quite. He's free to leave, but not the girl. I thought Damon would stand up for me, but he left without a word. I waited until the cop got distracted and sneaked out of the situation. I'll go to the camp and even wear a wig. They're leaving today, right? Did you get in trouble? No, I just had a fight with my boyfriend. By some miracle, I didn't miss the bus and reached the camp by the next morning. Melanie, is that right? Mrs. Peters' granddaughter? Come on, I'll show you around. Girls and boys have separate dorms. The same goes for the beaches. Here's where you'll study. It is nice here. What are those terrible sounds? Turn it off, my poor ears. Which note is this? Melanie? Kay? Are you for real? There is no such note. All the girls in the camp were driving me up the wall. One day I ran out of patience and sneaked away to the boys' beach. No one will bother me here. I was looking at the waves when I heard footsteps behind me. Melanie, is it really you? What are you doing here? I play the flute, and it's a good music camp. You're even more hopeless than I thought. I saw you on the bus, but I thought I was mistaken. By the way, help yourself. I'm not hungry. Try them, they're really good. What are you doing? Now my hair's all dirty. I'm sorry, let me help. Just leave me alone. I had to go to the shower to clean up. This stupid crumbs got everywhere. What's taking you so long? A girl? What are you doing here? I fixed my wig and quickly left before anyone else could see me. There you are! The teacher's looking for you! Just tell them I sailed away and didn't come back. The next moment, I heard a strange sound and then… Ah! My hair! The birds were attacking me. There were probably still crumbs in my hair. What's happening? No idea, but it serves her right. Shoo, go away! Are you okay? I'm fine. You missed dinner. Whatever. Not crackers this time? Thanks. Oddly enough, Kyle was the least annoying person at that camp. One day I saw him on the beach. It turned out he was a great flutist. I thought you didn't like classical music. Okay, I admit it. It's not that terrible. When I told Kyle who my grandmother was, he was thrilled. Mrs. Peters? Really? She's a legend. I dream of meeting her. I suddenly realized that Kyle wasn't as lame as I thought. He was a normal guy, just a shy one. Hi, Gran. Has anyone come around looking for me? No. Are you worried about your boyfriend? Something like that. Weirdly enough, the police didn't come after me. I had little doubt they could find me if they wanted to. My stomach was in knots when I left camp, but no one seemed to be looking for me, and I went back to school like nothing happened. Melanie, wait. Please, can we talk? Kyle, tell the annoying fly buzzing under my ear to leave me alone. I started sitting next to Kyle in class. We even had lunch at the same table. Ugh. You said you wanted to meet my grandmother, right? You should come over after school. I can't believe you're real. I mean, I admire you. Melanie said you're a flutist. Let's play together. It was a surprisingly nice evening. I wasn't even annoyed by them talking about classical music for hours on end. Kyle and I went to school together the next day. Dang it! What's the matter? Phew, it's nothing. I can see something's bothering you. You can trust me. I doubted that, but also wanted to talk to someone. Before I knew it, I was telling Kyle about my dad and the mess Damon had gotten me into. You're a good guy, so you probably won't want to hang out with a criminal's daughter. Damon is a bastard. I'd be happy if I had a girlfriend like you. I'm sorry, Kyle, but I only see you as a friend. When I arrived at school the next morning, I immediately realized that something was wrong. Everyone was whispering behind my back and pointing at me. Robber's daughter. When I saw the article about Dad, my blood ran cold. You told everyone about me! Was that revenge for rejecting you? Melanie, Let's get out of here. What do you want? To gloat? I don't care who your dad is. I only care about you. I know you're mad at me, but I didn't leave you. The police weren't looking for you, were they? I talked to Dad and he took care of everything. After Damon explained what happened, we made up and started talking again. Melanie, do you have a minute? Get away from her! Kyle hasn't visited us in a while. Forget about him! Did you have a fight? He betrayed me. When I told Grandma about everything that happened, for some reason, she grew thoughtful. I don't think he could have done that. Kyle doesn't know how to pretend like you do. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I was hoping you'd tell me about the robbery. How do you know about that? I lied to you. After you left for camp, the police came here. But thanks to my name and connections, I managed to convince them to sweep it under the rug. Damon lied to me? I'm sorry I didn't tell you. I didn't rob the store, but I was afraid you wouldn't believe you. I do believe you, Melanie. That evening, I went to the abandoned building Damon usually hung out at. I heard Melanie telling that nerd Kyle about her father. She kept ignoring me, so I taught her a lesson. Is that why you told her secret to the whole school? I framed Kyle and got Melanie back. I was about to explode like a pressure cooker, but I hid my real feelings and approached Damon with a sweet smile instead. Hey, baby. I'm not your baby. Also, you suck at riding a bike and your friends just don't have the courage to tell you the truth. What are you saying? I'm leaving you. Take your bike. I don't want it anymore. Melanie, I know you didn't tell anyone my secret. I'm sorry I jumped to conclusions. I'm not mad at you. Actually, you were right. You're out of my league. I mean, you're so cool and Shut up already. What goes around comes around. That's true for good things too. After I apologized to Kyle, Grandma suddenly apologized to me. I've been thinking a lot and realized that I've been unfair to you, Melanie. You are who you are and I won't try to change you anymore. This whole time, I was just afraid you would follow in your father's footsteps. When I found out he'd been arrested, I had a heart attack. That's why I didn't take you home until a month later. I'm sorry too. I know I'm stubborn and make you worry. Our relationship got better. Grandma even gave me an expensive bike for Christmas. As you might have guessed, Kyle and I became an item. He was never the guy of my dreams, but he gets me like no one else. I also think about Dad a lot. He made mistakes, but I will always love him anyways.